Okay guys, what is up everyone, and welcome back to this daily cryptocurrency video once again. Sorry I have been MIA recently, but I'm gonna start being consistent from now on. I had to make some repair on my computer. Anyways, let's have a look. We're gonna be diving into Bitcoin today because Bitcoin is king, so I'm gonna be having a small TA on that. And then after that, we're maybe gonna have a look at some altcoins, but the main thing I want to have a look at today is the Bitcoin dominance, the Bitcoin CME charts, as you guys can see right here, BTCD, as well as the regular Bitcoin chart. So right now Bitcoin currently down or up 0.12%, traded at $47,000, and we got a market cap right under $1 trillion. So this is for Bitcoin. As you guys can see right here, we got some green, some altcoins are in the green in the past 24 hours. Nothing too crazy. We got Terra Luna right now exploding, or it has been exploding in my opinion, compared to how this market has been reacting. So anyways, let's start off with Bitcoin real quick, because we know Bitcoin's king and there's really no question. I just want to really focus on Bitcoin today because wherever Bitcoin go really is going to tell us where this market goes. And in my opinion, I think that we're going to come back down to 42,000, and I do have a few reasons why. But before that, let's have a look and break down what happened on the daily time frame. So first of all, okay, we peaked right here at $69,000. We came back down. Once we came back down, right here we had this nice little consolidation, and then boom, had another breakdown, and now we're having another slight downtrend consolidation channel, whatever you guys want to call it. Now the interesting part right here is that we had a wick right here, a rejection, the same thing, and which was right here. We had a rejection wick, and now this is exactly happening again. We have another rejection wick right here. So in my opinion, we could see some blood this week and, you know, come back down to 42,000. That's really gonna make some altcoins bleed, in my opinion. As you guys can see, that would be a 12% drop approximately. Another thing I want to have a look at is if this doesn't happen, I want to have a look at the more positive scenario. But another negative thing is that we do this was the trend line right here. Okay, so as you guys know, the trend is your friend. Now we did have a bounce right here at 53k, but unfortunately we broke right through it. Now the levels I'll be looking at to be bullish again is essentially the 53k thousand level. Why the 53k thousand level? Well, we did have a peak right here, which is extremely strong. We did have some consolidation right here, and we did have a nice little rebound right here. So and of course, if I extend that, we also had the support right here and this area right here, rebound. So this is a pretty strong resistance in my opinion. If we manage to you know, break and come back above that, then I'm going to be bullish again. Until now, I wouldn't see a reason why we come back to 42,000, perhaps go back up, or even 29,000. So that's going to be very interesting in my opinion, whatever happens in the next couple of weeks or even days. Maybe this week, we're going to have to see. But we got interesting things coming. Now 42,000 is also interesting, and the reason why is because we have a resistance a support right here, a support right here. We got a nice little peak right here and a nice little peak right here. So that's a very strong resistance in my opinion. Now people are talking about this head and shoulder right here. So this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and potentially, you know, people are talking about something like this happening and essentially coming back down. Now if this does happen, which it would take approximately 2 months to play out, now assuming that it does play out and we put it at the breakout, we could have a correction all the way back to $18,000. Now $18,000 is a very interesting level because we were floating around that region right here. And also, if I bring it down, we actually had a very strong support at that area right here. So am I saying that this is gonna happen? I don't know, probably not. I'm not saying that, but I really want to dive into the futures chart in just a second, because that's where the gap is. So this is it for Bitcoin. I mean, another thing I do want to have a look at is the exponential moving average right here. So sorry, this is a little bit messy. We have been on a downtrend, as you guys can see. So ever since we actually broke down the EMA ribbon, which was right here on the 18th of November, I did say that we were entering a bear trend. Unfortunately, these exponential moving average, they really dictate the trend, of course, unfortunately. But as you guys can see, every time we are above it, we move towards the top. Every time, as you guys can see, yes, we had a nice little fake out right here, then come back up, but every time we are below it, we are essentially in a bear trend, and as you guys can see right here, I could even take it back to 15th of October, all the way back to April 13, 2021. We were in a bull trend. So yes, these ribbons do work, except you have to essentially mix, you know, support, resistance, trend line, RSIs. This is what trading is essentially. You want to mix all these things together and have the best potential or potential trade or scenario, or I don't want to say prediction, but probability. That's the word I was looking for. Anyways, let's dive into Bitcoin dominance real quick. There's a few things I want to have a look at. Okay, let me take this off real quick, the EMA ribbon. Okay, so we were talking about the 18K level. Do you guys remember that a few seconds ago? So the interesting part right here is, before I take a look at these two gaps right here, we do have a gap at 18,000 level. Okay, so can this be a huge play, essentially for the whales to drop it back down to $18,000 and fill this gap? We know that gaps always get filled. We know that this gap got filled right here. This gap got filled. We still have two gaps that have to get filled, but we know that gaps always get filled. This gap got filled right here. This gap got filled right here. Now, what is a gap essentially? A gap is when you're on the futures market, the market on futures on the CME, Chicago Committee Exchange or Exchange Committee. I think, no, that's not it. Chicago. Anyways, it's something with Chicago. I forgot what it is. My brain is not working so well today, but anyways, it's when the market is closed on the weekends, and essentially what happens when it when it reopens on Monday or Sunday late at night, we essentially have this gap that happens because of the market of the spot contracts or the spot market that happened during the week. So during the weekend by Bitcoin. So that being said, this is how these gaps form essentially. Anyways, so we know that gaps always get filled. Now there is a gap that I am looking at. Okay, it's the $34,000. Guys, by the way, before anything, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and due diligence. But we do have this gap at between 34 and 32,000 that still has yet to be filled. We have another one right here at 26,000 and 24,000, and one at 19,000 and 18,000 between these lines. So this is actually a very interesting target to inverse the regular head and shoulder, because we have a gap right here that still needs to be filled. Now we know that gaps, they get filled like between 70 to 80% of the time. 8 out of 10 times gap do get filled. So it's very possible that we close just these two and let this one run. But it's definitely something we have to keep in mind, of course, and not to be over bullish and over leverage. I mean, we did shake a lot of paper hands. We saw a lot of liquidity, or people getting liquidated last week and 2 weeks ago. We saw $6 billion liquidation overall, not just from one person. So we shook a lot of people out of the market, which is good. By the way, guys, these are just scenarios. I'm not saying whatsoever that it will happen on the long term. I'm still bullish, but you never ever know what can happen in this market, and this is why we have to be prepared. Guys, it's not financial advice. Don't go ahead and shorting. My target will be 42,000. That's very much and more likely to happen than anything else, in my opinion. So 42,000 is sitting approximately right here. Very important target. We're gonna have, like, there's no question, we're gonna be eyeing that. I'm gonna be eyeing that in the next week, unless we break this area right here, which is a bear trap or a bear flag, and unless we break the 53,000. So I won't be doing anything unless we get out of these two areas. And this is why it's very important to follow Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's king, Bitcoin's the leader, as you guys know. Another thing I want to have a look at is the Bitcoin dominance. Where are you? BTCD. The Bitcoin dominance does tell you how much money is flowing into altcoins and how much money is not, and it's flowing into Bitcoin. So let's have a look. Bitcoin market dominance right here. So we are actually in a very interesting level right now. This is why I wanted to have a look at. We do have an M pattern. Okay, so can we see the biggest alt season ever? Just because Bitcoin dumps, that doesn't necessarily mean that altcoins will, but most of the time, 80 to 90% of the time will. But what I meant to say really is just because the Bitcoin dominance dump, that does not mean that Bitcoin's dumping. That just means that more money is flowing into Bitcoin than altcoins. That's literally all it means. Now, if we have a nice little closure at like 39.5 or below, even 39, it would be a closure below this and this level, which is the 19th of May 2021 and the 12th of September 2021. If we manage to have a close below that, we're most likely going to see a huge alt season, and it's going to be quite interesting to see Bitcoin below that level. I mean, the last time we were below this level, I don't think we were, because as you guys know, Bitcoin's king. But yeah, we were. Okay, we were right here exactly at 36, and this was actually a massive alt season in 2017, 2018. Anyways, guys, if you guys like this video, once again, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.